그리고 이러고 다닌다고요?
The plan was simple. Follow the Han River, climb Namsan, stop for coffee, and ride home. But somehow, a bunch of little things happened along the way. It was too late to call it a morning ride, and a little early for lunch. I wasn't going far, so all I took was the bike, my sunglasses, and a bottle. A few streets from home, I dropped down onto the Han River path. One minute I'm weaving through the neighborhood. The next, the route suddenly feels simple. I expected it to be quiet on a weekday afternoon, but plenty of people were out. Cyclists, runners, people taking a slow walk, and crews cleaning the path. The same stretch of road is a training route, a walking path, and somebody else's workplace. There's no real reason to hurry here. The river keeps pace beside me, and every bridge brings a brief change in the light and temperature. A little farther on, I realized I was almost out of water. I don't really plan fuel stops on shorter rides. Along the river, I can just stop when I need to. So I bought a single bottle of water. At the time, that felt like plenty. I had no idea I'd be back here for ramen on the way home. Once I was moving again, Namsan came into view. It looks close, but getting there means leaving the bike path and stitching together a few main roads and back streets. The bike path doesn't take me smoothly all the way there. In places like this, I have to get off and walk. I'm used to that sudden moment when a cyclist becomes a pedestrian. Seoul Tower stays in view, but the entrance to Namsan is surprisingly hard to find. I still have to cross a main road and weave between the buildings. Looking close and being easy to reach are two different things. Once I'm off the main road, the climb starts in the back streets. The lane is narrow and there are cars around, so I keep checking ahead and behind. After all those flat kilometers along the river, my legs notice the gradient immediately. It isn't a long climb, but short definitely doesn't mean easy.
오신 거예요?
네.
아니 요즘에 쩌기님이랑 쩌기 누나랑 뭐 복고 다니시던데?
나도 봤어. 수영장.
나 깜짝 놀랐네요. 와.
I stopped for a quick break, then headed straight back down. From Namsan, I headed down toward Haebangchon. A few minutes earlier, I was surrounded by trees and looking out over the city. Now I was right back among buses, shops, and neighborhood traffic. This is Shinheung Market, which has been here since 1953. Small restaurants and cafes now sit between the older shops. It feels less newly built and more like modern taste layered over the old alleyways.
아 진짜요? 아니 그러면 무슨 로드 타시는 거예요? 자전거? 어떤 자전거 타시는 거예요? 아 그런 걸. 그리고 이러고 다닌다고요?
I'd only planned to have a coffee and leave, but we ended up talking about bikes for a while. Even on a solo ride, one little conversation can change the way I remember the day. Now I'm heading back to the river. The path doesn't connect directly, so there's a little more road riding first. This passageway connects the road to the Han River bike path. It drops below street level and gets dark fast, so we jokingly call it the dungeon entrance. Once you've heard the name, it's hard not to see it. A moment later, I'm back on the familiar river path, and the ride suddenly feels nearly over. Passing the same convenience store again, I suddenly felt hungry. This time, I came out with ramen. One bottle of water had been enough on the way out. Now I was sitting outside cooking noodles. The unplanned stops are usually the ones I remember. After a bowl of hot ramen, I felt a little heavier on the bike, but much more relaxed. There was nowhere else I needed to go. I just had to follow a familiar route home. I passed a few more riders and slipped through the shade under the bridges. Before, this was the road to Namsan. Now it feels more like the place where I slowly sort through everything that happened today. I didn't go far, and I didn't set any records. I rode along the river, climbed Namsan, bumped into a few people, and stopped for coffee and ramen. Days on the bike in Seoul tend to stay with me because of little moments like these.